What's going on, guys? Welcome to Everything Always. My name's Michael Bremen, aka Allfires. Now, if you missed our video yesterday, we actually got a ton of updates about multiple Marvel projects. First, you had Matt Shakman, the director of the Fantastic Four, in an exclusive interview with Collider, talking about new details for the film. I'll link that video at the end of this. Then we got a ton of new dates for the upcoming 2024-2025 release slate by Marvel, after public filings with the Copyright Office also revealed multiple details for said projects like Echo, Agatha Coven of Chaos, and especially Daredevil, where a brand new official synopsis was included with the description. We're going to break down that synopsis, including some twists for what we thought was happening with the cast, certain actors playing different characters than originally reported. We've got it all for you here. We're breaking down the latest update and official synopsis now released by Marvel for the upcoming Daredevil series in 2025. But first, if you could grab the subscribe button. We do daily Marvel content at the channel, and that's all we do. Everything from official Easter egg breakdowns, trailers, and reviews to the occasional industry insider report and everything in between. So if that sort of thing's for you, hit the subscribe button, leave a comment down below. That will automatically enter you to win our ongoing PS5 giveaway. We've actually got 3 left this year, one right around the corner with the finale of Loki. We're also doing a daily comic book giveaway all this month. All you got to do, just be a sub, leave a comment if you want, stick around at the end of the video. We get into all the giveaway stuff again there. Okay, so again, because these are public records with the Copyright Filing Office, this is about as official you're going to get for information when not being announced by Marvel Studios. This was for the Daredevil Born Again series, which the first publication date for the series is now listed as 2025 approximately, meaning they're going to update that as soon as they get back to filming after the actor strike is done. We assume they'll announce next year during San Diego Comic-Con when the series is actually set to release. This was the included synopsis and description of the work. Quote, Marvel Studios presents Daredevil Born Again, in which longtime rivals Matt Murdock, played by Charlie Cox, and Wilson Fisk, played by Vincent D'Onofrio, try to leave behind their darker alter egos to serve the people of New York, only to have their pasts catch up with them. In the first episode of the series, we are reintroduced to the world of Daredevil. Now, there's some very specific language in here, but I hone in first on the word reintroduced, especially based on some of the quotes from creatives on Daredevil Born Again real recently have sort of left question marks or a shroud over whether or not this is a fresh reboot in the MCU or a loose continuation of sorts from what we saw during the Netflix series. It would appear by all accounts now it's looking more and more like a continuation of, an extension of that original series rather than a reboot. I know there's omission of characters like Froggy Nelson and other characters, but there still may be some resolution there in a quick piece of dialogue or even a cameo during the series. And if you work backwards into the synopsis, it says that their pasts are going to catch up with them. They can't have pasts prior to the show unless they're going to spend time setting that up, which leads me to my basic point that this is a good thing that they're making it a loose continuation and not a fresh reboot, because we don't have to be reintroduced to Frank Castle, Wilson Fisk, any of the ensemble of these supporting characters, because we already know their loose introductions. We've already seen what happens when Frank Castle catches up with Matt Murdock and what happens from there, and we've already seen the backstory between Wilson Fisk and Matt Murdock as Kingpin and Daredevil respectively. They have a complicated history, and now they can use all that going forward in the show, again, without having to rewrite it, replay it out, and or change the events of history. So I'm pretty glad that they're doing this as a loose continuation, and that's pretty obvious from the short synopsis that we got here. Now, moving on from there is the list of cast, which again threw us some curveballs based on previous reports from earlier this year. Now, there are a lot of names listed here, but 4 of which we already knew. Charlie Cox as Daredevil, Vincent D'Onofrio as Kingpin, John Bernthal back as Frank Castle the Punisher. Yes, there are rumors he'll get his own series on the future of Disney+, but in the meantime, he's showing up during this series, Born Again, and Sandra Holt will actually be playing Vanessa Fisk. Now, going on from there, I'll issue the lightest of spoiler warning because there is some rumor stuff involved in here, but Margarita LaViva is listed as Heather Glenn, rumored to be a love interest of Matt Murdock, and now said to be the couples counselor for Vanessa and Wilson Fisk. And you can see how, if Wilson Fisk was ever to find out this connection, why he would have a huge problem with Matt Murdock's lover knowing the intimate details of his and Vanessa's relationship and what might come of that if he finds out. The next one is Michael Gandolfini, that's right, James Gandolfini's son, listed as Daniel Blade. Now, straight up, Daniel Blade is not an existent Marvel character. He's never been in the comics. But this also might be an alias, because it was rumored that Michael Gandolfini would be playing a younger Wilson Fisk in flashback scenes that we were going to see to sort of better contextualize Kingpin's story. And while that hasn't been confirmed, again, because Daniel Blade is such a specific name, but absolutely not an existent Marvel character, most likely this is just an alias to disguise the fact that he's playing a young Wilson Fisk, something they'll want to save as a reveal for the show. Now, the next interesting name on here is Nikki M. James as Kristen McDuffie. We had that one right. We already reported it on the channel. She'll end up being a legal colleague in the sense that she's actually a DA and another possible love interest for Matt Murdock. But the next name is extremely interesting as well. Janaea Walton listed as BB Urich, which again is not a character in the comics, but that name should be familiar. Obviously, Ben Urich was a huge character from the original Netflix series and a character that Kingpin killed. So this could be his daughter and or a relative coming for some sort of retribution or revenge, play into the main storyline of the show. Now, aside from that, guys, and unfortunately, Marvel has committed to this as one of its biggest shows, and as it's been previously reported, it will actually be bigger than any Marvel show, 2 9-episode seasons, which means they still have a ton of filming in front of them. Even if the actor strike can get resolved this year, it's already being heavily reported that major productions, like say Daredevil Born Again, won't resume until after the first of the year. Basically, even if the actor strike is resolved in the next couple of weeks, they're going to wait it through the holiday season, start up after January 1st, which tells me that even though 2025 is now the placeholder release date for this, more likely it could be 2025 and even 2026 before they wrap this series up. Another huge question mark I've got for all these Disney Plus shows that are finding themselves later and later on the release schedule, further and further down the road, is how their scripts are going to hold up if they're temporally related to what's going on in the story when we get that deep in the multiverse saga. Basically, if you've had shows like Loki, movies like Deadpool, and even the Fantastic Four, and maybe even approaching King 5 Avengers Dynasty, how do you do such a grounded show literally on the streets of New York when all this important stuff is happening in the multiverse and then just not have it correlate in any way, not have them acknowledge it, not have it play a role or interfere with a single detail of the show? It just seems like a lot of these scripts and shows now, as we reported yesterday, Ironheart filmed last year and won't come out for 3 years until 2025. Literally filmed in 2021 and 2022, won't come out till 2025. How are these scripts going to hold up? How are they going to be relevant? Or is it going to be a little weird that everything coming out on Disney Plus is actually a prequel of sorts? Guys, I am all ears. How hype are you for Daredevil? Again, I have all the faith in the world if they keep the original tone for the show, the violence intact, and leave the story dark, that this is going to be good. And if you've missed some of our previous videos on Daredevil, I'll link them down in the description, but there's already been some rumors about exactly that, and one of the first horrifying villains that they're going to bring in for the publishing that is just one of the most rated R and horrific villains, I think, in Daredevil's gallery, but really in all of Marvel's gallery. Let me know your thoughts down below quickly. Let's get into the giveaway stuff before I let you go. All right, we are still giving away PlayStation 5s at the channel. We've got 3 left to go this year. 1 for Loki's finale, 1 for the Marvels, and 1 for What If in December. We're also giving away comic book variants the entire month of October. That's right, every day this month. We just announced 5 new winners in the Easter egg video. All you got to do to be entered to win, super simple. Hit the subscribe button, then leave a comment down below. Because it's truly random, the more videos you comment on, the better chance you have of winning. All winners will be announced at the end of videos, the same way I'm doing here, live with my voice in the comments shown on screen. And for right now, all of the comic book winners will always be in the Easter egg video we do for the next episode of Loki, so expect that up on Thursday night or Friday morning. My name's Michael Roman. You can find me in a couple of places, Instagram and Twitter at I'mFires. You can also find me on Spotify, YouTube, Amazon, Apple, iTunes, wherever you listen to original music under the name Allfires. And while I sincerely appreciate you checking my music out, thanks for checking this channel out. Stick around. We'll be posting again real soon.